YouTube? Welcome back. We're here with a video that is unusual. One that I've been recommended a million times over, but I just didn't really know if I should do it or not. But now with the movie coming out soon, why not? It's the Five Nights at Freddy's game lore. I didn't really think there was much lore behind it, to be honest with you, but I guess I have been led astray, led in ignorance to not know of the grand adventures we face. Anyways, I'm here with a bunch of my buddies right now. We got Fax, we got Damian, we got Klcoma. A link to all their channels will be in the description below, as well as a link to the original video that I'm reacting to. So go support those and support me as well while you're here. Check us out live over on Twitch at Aliciaxlife. Let's get it.
19 books, 11 games, 8
There's books?
whole years.
Yeah, that's what I want to read. I want to read the books.
The ultimate FNAF timeline is fun.
Oh, Klcoma, if you make a books, like you read all the books video, I would so watch that shit. Oh my god. Because you be doing that shit for manga, and then that's how I know like something's good to actually watch. So, thank you.
I got you.
Finally complete. The pieces are in place for us. Now all we have to do is put
no
the
idea
story of
anything to do with
tragedy,
this.
jealousy, and
It's actually
loss
pretty good.
back together.
Not gonna lie.
I don't know shit about any of this.
Hello, Internet! Welcome
Oh,
to
it's a horror game,
Hold
right?
me down.
the show that feels like a kid revealing the class project that he's been working on all year. Except here, it's the class project that I've been working on for the past decade of my life. This one is big, my friends.
Actually,
kind of
there's
nervous.
so
that
much.
much?
Yeah, there's so many games actually in this. Like you said,
What?
like
He
11
got
games.
he got that many videos about Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yes, sir. Every time new games comes out or a new lore or book, he covers it. He on it. I ain't gonna lie.
He must make fuck tons of money off that though.
Honestly, I think he's one of the few reasons why the game is so popular, or even that movie. To be honest, him and Markiplier are like the few people that actually like really hardcore did this game.
Yeah, I know that Markiplier was called like the king at Five Nights at Freddy's, but like I didn't really like I only played the first one, so.
I haven't attempted a
The
timeline video on
every day, everywhere. But yeah, not bad. I want to interrupt.
Wait, whoa, there's that many games?
Yep.
Oh.
this franchise since 2018. Back in the days when Mike was the crying child, Afton coming back was actually a surprise, and Fazgoo wasn't a phrase I'd ever thought I'd have to utter. But since the last time I did something like this, we had 3 more massive games, the death and revival of the FNAF movie, and more robot kids than you can shake a staff bot at. It is exhausting trying to keep track of this whole franchise, which honestly is why I'm here today. The lore at this point is complicated. It is full of speculation and theory, so to hopefully make it a little easier for everyone and to give us all a baseline to talk about this franchise moving forward into the future, it's time to reveal my current working FNAF timeline. But just before I do, I just want to explain a couple of things. First, this timeline is massive. Seriously, it is huge. This thing towers over any video project we have ever done on the channel.
Really?
But when you look at the totality of this franchise, the story of FNAF really boils down to the story of one man, William.
Yeah, I'm like, the moment he starts touching One Piece, it's all gonna change. He'll be like, I'll tell you the lore of One Piece. And then, like, 30,000 videos
30-hour
later.
video.
What are you doing?
Afton, his successes, his failures, his rise to becoming co-owner of one of the most successful restaurant franchises in the world, and his eventual fall to the monsters he helped to create, only to then be reborn in a new digital form later. That's why I've decided to split this timeline into 3 main.
I'm sorry, that's crazy. They got, like, motherfuckers going into Matrix and shit? What is...
Bro,
chunks.
so
The foundation of
different.
Freddy's, how the business started and how it came into being, the Afton era, William's decades-long murder spree, and post-Purple Guy. Basically modern FNAF. Everything that happens after the pizzeria simulator fire. And because there are lots of new big revelations in this thing that seemingly come out of nowhere, as well as just points I want to talk about further, I decided to dedicate 1 episode to each chunk. I originally wanted it to be one seamless continuous video, but it just felt incomplete without some sort of explanation at the end of each one. Once this whole thing's done, I promise I'm gonna merge all the narrative bits into one massive video so you can just skip my explanations. But for now, this just felt like the best, most satisfying, most complete way to do this. That being said, this is still about the story, the broad strokes of the franchise. So in order to make sure that you guys know that I'm not just pulling answers out of thin air, not only am I discussing some of the more controversial bits at the end of each chunk, we're also putting in a handy little graphic in the bottom left-hand left-hand corner of the screen, which will show thumbnails, video titles, books, and any other citations that we need throughout the video. So if you wish to understand that specific statement in more detail, you know exactly where we've taken it from. That way you can look into those details for yourself. So sit back, grab some popcorn, or your pitchforks if you're the type to get upset when I say something controversial, and make sure that you subscribe, since this is going to be a video that you're going to want to come back to a few times in order to fully dissect. Without any more waiting, I present to you the story of a loving, obsessive father who slowly descended into madness, and along the way, discovered the secret to eternal life.
As a furry.
That's kind of fire. Why?
Our story begins not in the 1980s, or even in the 1970s, but all the way back in the 1930s. It was the throes of the Great Depression. People were in desperate need of cheap entertainment, especially in New York, one of the states hit hardest. Fourth highest unemployment in the nation and full of transients. People looking for work in Salt Lake, finding none, and ultimately moving on to find their fortunes out in California. People were tired and they were hungry, but as they traveled, there was one thing that could lift their spirits. A simple roadside attraction called Fredbear's Singin' Show. The ads were plastered all over town, featuring an animated bear drawn in the popular pie-eyed cartoon style for characters at the time. He resembled cartoons like Mickey Mouse, Felix the Cat, Betty Boop. It immediately said that this, Fredbear's, was a place where you could bring the family. And the price, honestly, couldn't be beat. For 50 cents, you could get food and entertainment as you watched the local trained real-life dancing bear perform on stage. Normally, you only
And yet Fax won't buy a street hot dog in New York. $1, bro.
Crazy.
Can't afford it, bro.
Can't afford it. It's crazy. He's a YouTuber, by the way.
Yep.
Oh, hell no.
He's a money maker.
Yep.
see dancing bears at large traveling circuses like Barnum and Bailey, where the tickets would go for about $1. That's $1 without food. But this was a smaller show, like the type from the Von Brothers or the Robbins Brothers, where tickets would sell for just a mere 50 cents. Honestly. Watching that bear do tricks on stage brought a glimmer of joy.
Bears be like, you might so tasty the fuck. Oh.
The simple show would go on for years,
he thinks I'm the
peanuts.
Hundreds of no.
He thinks I'm the Peanuts is so cute.
No, please.
Travelers passing through looking for a quick meal, but it left a permanent impression on one little boy, capturing his imagination in a way that nothing else had. One little boy named Billy. That was his nickname at least, but his parents liked to call him William Afton. The bear could dance, it could sing.
What up, Willie?
For decades, William dreamed of recreating that moment of bringing a musical bear to life, but how? William was smart, without a doubt, and he had a keen mind for business, but he wasn't the most creative. How do you make a singing, dancing bear come to life? The best he could do was using rudimentary costumes. William was inspired by the work of Walt Disney, who throughout the 50s and 60s was pioneering the use of mascot suits throughout his theme park. The big innovation? Suits with 5 fingers. This allowed the performers wearing the suits to use their natural arms and hands to interact with the guests, as opposed to older models where the arms would just hang limply by their sides.
Oh, this is what's scary when they show like real pictures and shit.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean? When it's like they connect it to like the real world.
Yep.
Realize his childhood dream. He would be able to bring Fredbear to life. To appeal to the kids, and for copyright reasons, he changed Fredbear from a realistic brown animal to a cartoonish yellow bear with a purple hat and bow tie.
Oh, that's cool. That makes
one
sense.
character wasn't enough, he added another friend, a yellow rabbit with a purple vest and matching tie named Bonnie the Bunny.
Bonnie!
Though Fredbear was certainly his first.
Isn't Bonnie purple now, though? Oh, I guess it has a purple.
Still yellow. Don't quote me. Don't quote me.
Love. Bonnie was extra special because that was his. It was
because Chica's yellow, Bonnie's purple.
No, Bonnie's still that same color. She's like the bunny. I know what you mean. She is blue. She is blue actually. There's some area in some iterations, but
I only played the first game, so
an original character that he had created from scratch. And I do mean scratch. William's hand-sewn costumes were rough with seams and stitches visibly showing, but it was the best that he could do. And you know what?
Oh, it's grotesque.
Bonnie and Fredbear would perform on stage to small but enthusiastic crowds. Finally, he was able to deliver fantasy and fun to all the kids, delighting and inspiring them in the exact way that he had been delighted and inspired so many years ago. And things could have ended there. That could have been the end to his story. It could have been perfect had it not been for one thing. Other people saw the success of his idea and they wanted in. Enter Chica's Party World, a rival restaurant starring performing animal characters. His idea, except they did it better. William may have been the first, but obviously he wasn't the best. It hurt prideful William Afton to admit it, but this restaurant was able to do the thing that he always wanted to do: make the animals actually come to life. All of the performers in this restaurant were robots.
Poor guy.
Skeletons that were powered by battery packs, but all of them able to freely turn and talk and dance on their own, no human required. It was like magic. Magic that came from the mind of a brilliant
Chica was
creator
yellow, I
named
think.
Henry Emily. This Henry, in some small way, had been able to harness the power of life itself. Afton admired him. He was jealous, to be sure, but he also looked upon this man with awe. Off to one side of Chica's party world was a small cabaret stage featuring an elephant magician. On the other, a hippo known to ramble on and on. That one was more of a joke for the parents, but it was the main stage that was for the kids. A rocking band of characters featuring a yellow chicken thing with a southern drawl named Chica. A band of other country-themed characters, including a pig with a banjo, an
I don't know the
upbeat
pig.
frog from the local swimming hole, and a brown bear with a
That's
heavy
Chica.
southern accent. Wait. A bear? But bears were his animals. Why not a cow or a horse? Something to fit the country theme a bit better. Why'd it have to be a bear? And adding insult to injury, they had the nerve to call this thing Ned Bear, a direct copy of his own
Ned
Fred
Bear.
Bear.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Personally, I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that personally.
That's mad disrespectful. Like now it's getting actually personal. That's fucked up.
No,
Right.
that was not
Right.
okay. Afton's jealous admiration turned to hardened bitterness. A bitterness that would only grow over the next couple of years as families continued to choose Chica's party world over Fredbear's. William just couldn't compete with the appeal of the robots. Eventually, his restaurant would go bankrupt, only to get bailed out by, of course, Henry Emily. Another insult.
Oh, man.
Another humiliation that William wouldn't soon forget.
Oh, William
1979.
pressed.
Despite being bitter, Afton couldn't deny that what came next was a period of massive success and expansion. With the two franchises now merged into one, it was the best of both worlds. Afton's ideas with Henry's robotic expertise. The two men decided to launch under a new name, Fredbear's Family Diner, a pizza chain that would eventually come to feature a mix of humans in performing suits as well as on-stage animatronics. They decided to stick with Fredbear
Now,
as the
this is
headliner,
the-
considering
yeah.
the yellow bear was easily identifiable as a brand and because he was the original performing animal mascot. Afton appreciated. This new restaurant would also see a mix of characters as the two franchises merged into one, with Pig Patch and Happy Frog performing right alongside Fredbear and Bonnie. And as part of this one big Fredbear family, they even got themselves official merch that were released, ranging from masks.
Hey yo,
That's kind of
the merch line.
Hey.
That said, not all
What was that voice?
That does not seem
Well,
as
that was a
happy.
demon.
I don't like the way
Hey.
he talking like that.
the
Chat,
characters
tell her to play the game.
Yes, sir.
Which one? Which one? No.
I didn't.
Oh, no.
What? Huh? I didn't say anything.
What was that?
I'm a baby.
winners. The reception to some characters was just mediocre, so they faded away into the dumpster, storage units, and retro budget tech stores of lost nostalgia, waiting for their chance to step
Damn.
back into the limelight if and when a headliner went out of commission. Others, though, would fare much better, like a new Pirate Fox, as well as a blue guitar-playing variant of the yellow Bonnie Bunny. Ultimately, the franchise would get so big,
Oh.
it's the cartoon show,
Yeah.
Fredbear and Friends. Business was booming. In the
That
end,
makes more sense
Fredbear
now.
and Bonnie's popularity would be so strong that they would be able to support the Fredbear's Family Diner franchise all on their own, while also spinning off a new
Hey.
sister location dedicated to their friends. In 1983,
Yeah.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza
That's cool.
launched, giving a dedicated home to all this new
Ah.
supporting cast of characters. Chica the Chicken, Bonnie the Blue Bunny, Foxy the Pirate, and of course the headliner, a brown
Okay, so like this is the one that
Oh,
I know
mhm.
because this is from
Yeah,
the
the blue
first
one.
game. Yeah. And then
Right.
also
Why-
Foxy.
Wait, so
Foxy.
you played the first game?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
hmm I couldn't do the stupid extra night mode when you beat it though, the 2020 bullshit. I couldn't do that. That was my attention span's not good enough for that. It's like there's too much, I get overstimulated, I just lay down. But yeah, I
Like
like
custom night.
Okay,
Ultimate
okay,
custom
for
night
sure,
is
for
free.
sure.
I liked it in general though. Like it was like fun. I just think that the first two nights were kind of like no content, but as soon as you got to like the later nights, I was just so panicked I no longer talked, which is like a big problem.
Freddy Fazbear. Business
Feel
was
that.
good, and Afton was happy, mostly. It did bother him that the one original character that he created, the one that he himself played, Golden Bonnie, got passed over for inclusion in that cartoon show. The only character in the roster of regulars to get ignored for the show, but other than that, things were going smoothly. He had himself a wife, 2 sons, a daughter, he had a thriving business, and best of all, he was able to learn the craft of robotics from the man that he both loved and hated, Henry. Together, they were constantly pushing the limits of what these characters could do. Because it was quick and easy, new characters introduced into the roster would be given a simple hand-sewn suit with 5 fingers that any performer could wear. Eventually, Henry would design one of his signature animatronics for that character, utilizing a divided mouth with either a hinged or sliding jaw design. This was the first generation of animatronics. But why stop there? Afton had big ideas.
God, it's
what
fucking
if
creepy.
animatronics weren't just locked to the stage,
Yeah.
but could freely roam the restaurant and interact with the kids?
Oh,
What if
they
these
really-
mascot suits could
What?
become
No, sir.
animatronics? What if you could use more than just rigid metallic skeletons? Why not experiment with tubes and wires that would give the animatronics fluidity and flexibility while still providing
The evolution of VTubing.
Yeah,
Brought to
this
you
is
by
your
Game
predecessor.
Theory. Right?
This could have been you.
This is me. Oh.
structure.
I'm kidding, I'm
The
kidding.
possibilities for this technology were endless. Afton fell in love with robotics. He had started with a dream of bringing one simple singing bear to life, but with robots, he had stumbled across the tools
He's
that
just
gave
like
him the
me.
ability to control life.
Wait, speak to that. What?
When he starts writing scripts.
Huh? I didn't say anything. That was
That's what he mean.
Uh-huh.
I love
itself.
robotics.
And thanks to Henry, he was practically speedrunning his way to an engineering degree. And while William wouldn't admit it out loud, one other thing that kept pushing him forward was the desire to beat his former rival, to prove himself smarter and more capable, to surpass the man who everyone else
just
considered
like me,
to
for
be
real.
a visionary
Honestly,
genius.
I feel like we're all that petty.
I feel like that's like
Nah,
Naruto.
facts,
This is the
facts.
OG Naruto and Sasuke right here. This is that beef.
Yeah.
Centuries old. He said, "Come on,
Honestly,
bruh.
like a competition motivates the fuck out of me. Like I love winning. It's a
you
problem.
will not beat me.
Facts.
Facts.
But pride cometh
I just can't take it to lose. That's all.
For me, it's like I'll never sabotage somebody else, but I will compare myself constantly. That's that's the vibe.
before the fall, and
I will- I
tragedy
have to
was
beat you.
about to
I'll
strike. Okay, so
sabotage
that
you.
brings us to the end of the
Huh?
I would. I
Huh?
would definitely.
Oh, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
I'll
didn't say
say that.
anything.
I'm blowing
That
up
was
your-
facts.
Who y'all
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
sabotaging?
was.
I didn't say anything.
On the
Hey,
daily.
On
I'm
the
blowing up
daily.
your- I'm blowing up your project probably just a little bit. For real, for real. Make sure you
God.
don't succeed.
God
Just
damn.
go ahead, continue the video.
Part one
Continue
of
the
the
Shit, I'm
story.
having
That
fun.
said, at the end of
No.
each of these chunks, I want to break down some of the logical leaps that I made, since the more narrative format doesn't give me much of a chance to justify a lot of the big decisions. And admittedly, there are some large leaps in here. Let's just start off with Fredbear's Singin' Show, shall we? We know, based on the retro poster that was hidden in Security Breach, that at least at one point, Fredbear was an actual bear. And like I called out in that narrative segment, dancing bear shows were a real form of entertainment. The only problem is that, timing-wise, none of our main characters would be the people in charge of that business in the 30s and a series of pizza restaurants in the 80s without them just being extremely old. Best case scenario, if Afton's running the Singin' Show when he's 18, that still puts him at nearly 70 when the first pizzeria opens and his murder spree begins.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make a lot of
great.
logical sense because he doesn't become immortal until his first death in Springtrap. That's why I suspect that Fredbear's Singin' Show was either a family business that Afton then carried on to a new generation, or something that he saw as a kid and just wanted to recreate when he grew up. The
Oh,
Fredbear
cool,
Singin'
okay.
Show thing also starts laying the groundwork for some of the core elements
like
of
me
the
for real.
story. That Freddy's was a place of fantasy and fun, and that Afton, despite eventually falling to become the heartless serial killer and mad scientist that we know him as, began as someone with good intentions and a love of entertaining kids. He wanted to bring things to life from
was
the
a homie
very
for real.
beginning, a theme that recurs a lot for him throughout the rest of the franchise. Next up, let's talk about those mascot costumes. One thing that I keep going back to is the design of Glitch Trap. It's a handcrafted suit. You can see the seams and everything. It even has 5 fingers for the performer's hands. It is very much not a Springtrap suit. This is something much more rudimentary. It came at a time before animatronics were a part of the story. That's
Yeah, that
why
makes
I
sense.
suspect that it was actually the first, predating literally everything. It's also a suit that is very personal to Afton. He put his digital consciousness in that form. It's his personal avatar. It's the way that he sees himself. There's also a whole separate discussion to be had here about the habits and rituals of
Do what I love for that? What I love about that is that he sees himself as having fleek ass eyebrows. Look at those eyebrows.
Kind of clean.
We love that for
They're
him.
very curved. They're very defined.
That's
They're
right.
defined.
Good for him. Get the high ass arches.
serial
Super
killers.
defined,
So the fact that
yeah.
he's choosing to lure kids and kill them in this particular suit actually says a lot about his emotional attachment to it. So while Fredbear seems to have started as someone else's creation, Golden Bonnie was uniquely Williams, giving him a personal connection. And that's not all. In this whole franchise, only one set of characters have themselves 5 fingers, the Nightmares. Even Golden Freddy,
Oh, God.
Fredbear, was a 5
I'm
the hell?
sorry. What the hell happened to our bears,
Yeah,
bruh?
He got teeth. He better eat
Ooh,
somebody.
upgrades.
Oh,
He upgrades,
Jesus.
murder upgrades.
God damn, that's about got laser eyes
Nice
and shit
smile.
too? Like, what is that?
And
But
Freddy.
see, you gotta
like-
play the game to feel this, bro.
It's-
Not to be gatekeeping, not to gatekeep. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, if somebody else plays it, I will sit with you and call and watch it, but I will be crying the entire time.
How much we gotta pay you to play this?
for me
Chat, how much we gotta
for
play
me to physically play it, I don't think I can. I won't like move forward in it. That's my big problem. Because when I get scared, I lock up. I just stop moving.
Okay.
So
So we gotta
Yeah,
pay you just to
same.
watch the video, the lore videos, then, right?
Yeah, it's a problem. I don't function well. Have
okay,
you seen
first
my
you gotta
somatic
watch all the
ability?
Mandela catalog lore. That's what we gotta pay you for.
I ain't gonna lie, it is good. It did lead me.
How
on
much I
to-
gotta pay you, bro?
Oh
No,
my
keep the
God.
actually. Let me not detract. Go keep playing the video.
Fredbear was a
whoa,
five-fingered
whoa.
wearable suit at one point in the story, as we see in this shot from the graphic novel. Before
Oh,
he,
it's dope.
like everyone
Lore
else,
is
was turned
crazy.
into an animatronic. This seems to imply that all of the main characters had similar wearable mascot outfits at least at one point
What
in
is
time,
that
and that
face?
whoever
That
is
is
having
so
the FNAF 4
creepy.
nightmares
Bro, this. What in the
That's
fuck is this? Is too far. The other one's already
Oh
scary.
my-
Whatever this is, no.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm
That
done.
scares you? Oh, okay.
That's scary. What you mean? That was scary. Okay.
Bro, you think that's
No,
not
No,
scary?
I'm saying no. That's a good thing. That's a good
Dude,
thing.
look at the little motherfucker in the right side of the screen. What is this little motherfucker doing right here? Who is this?
Yeah, he's scary.
I
Yeah.
don't fuck with that one. I don't like
if
that.
they even are nightmares, something that we'll touch on in part 2, saw those mascot suits specifically. Lastly, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. The literal elephant, Orville Elephant, as well as the rest of the mediocre melodies. For a while
Oh.
now, I've suspected that the mediocre melodies played a much more important role in the story than just being a bunch more animatronics to fill out the roster. Especially Ned Bear, which is just so suspiciously close to Fredbear. And yet, there are two key details that we're gonna have to justify with any mediocre melodies mention. One, they're
I like the
very
hippo.
rudimentary with external battery packs, implying that they come very early in the timeline. And two, we know that at minimum, Mr. Hippo does eventually become an official member of the extended Freddyverse. But if these things are supposed to be cheap, generic rip-offs, why would you be trying to rip off yourself? You wouldn't. You would be stealing someone else's ideas. So if Afton created Fredbear, there would have to be some rival franchise. The only other person who would likely be ripping him off, Henry. We've talked extensively about how the mediocre
Man,
mel-
Henry, this
Henry kinda cool, though.
bastard. Yeah, no, Henry's actually dope.
He's not like a good man. He's like he's doing his job, and then after it seemed like he just started tweaking on him. He's like, bro.
I'll
Oh,
be
yeah, he's
honest,
just cursed about everything.
and like
Yeah.
the worst part about it is he was like, our boy Afton be like, he's stealing from me, and it's like, bro, everyone gets inspired off some shit. We just,
Yeah.
keep doing different iterations. You were not making animatronics yet. You had dudes in suits. Like the guy turned it into animatronics. That is not the
That's-
same.
That's
Facts.
William Afton, bro. He's like the main
Yeah.
villain of this series. Yeah.
He'd already know you, bro, for a little bro, for real, honestly. He was
Yeah.
like, hey, you kind of cool. You cool? What's going on? Let's start a company. He said, bro, let's get together with this. He saw your idea. He said, I think we can make a good team.
Mm-hmm.
You started tweaking on him. You say, yeah, fuck you, bro. I'm like, damn, really? That was your homie. That was your day one.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, he just did it better. He had he made the animatronic side of it, and it's like you can't blame him. He's not even taking your idea if he's actually like just making it better. He made it his own. Like if he just had a bunch of dudes in suits in his establishment too, okay, that's kind of fucked up, right? But like, I mean, the Ned versus Fred thing was fucked up though. That's dirty with the naming.
Yeah, that was a copy. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a little
He had
dirty
to
with the
do all-
naming.
He had to do all that, bro. That was a little too
Yeah.
much for me.
abilities are
That would
clearly
have pissed
Henry's
off.
design aesthetic. So it just has to be him. I don't think Henry's doing this maliciously. He doesn't strike me as the type. He was likely building
Damn, we
the
just
robots
talked
at the
about
orders
this
of
crazy.
someone
Whoa, right?
We literally just talked about.
We're in it, bro. We're in it. People be like,
Word.
"Oh, Alicia gets so distracted when her friends are here." No, dog. We're clearly in it. We just happy
We're
people.
engaged.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything. Go ahead. I'm trying to keep you on track.
rival restaurant franchise. But that's enough motivation to start Afton down a path of jealous rivalry, but also begrudging admiration. As the Freddy Files
My
Ultimate
boy
Edition
mad
says,
insecure.
it's important to revisit the
Man,
beginning
you
of
really
Henry
cool.
and William's relation.
But damn, I'm trying to be like that. And not be like that. I want to be that.
He said,
trying
I
to
hate
get
you,
like
but I
you.
love you, bro.
Ship,
For
so
real?
here you go.
I
I
think
think
you're doing
this
a real
is where it
good job.
begins. Also, this is future Matt Pat here coming back to add this one in. Seems like the recently released character encyclopedia has backed up all of this speculation. I've had this timeline written for about a month now, but I've also been holding off a bit to see what wrenches this character encyclopedia might throw into it. And on this particular point, I gotta say, it seems like we might actually have nailed it. They actively call out the suspicious similarities to the main Fredbear crew. Quote from one of the pages, Ned Bear looks like an imitation, altered just enough to avoid copyright issues. shoes. I don't know
Oh,
about you, but that
damn.
seems to imply
Yeah,
that they
Nightmare
relied
is
on money.
crazy.
Knowing all of this, at one
Oh.
point the franchises had to have merged. That's really the only way that you get Mr. Hippo from the rival franchise as part of the Fazbear crew. This also mirrors a lot of what happened in the real-life history of Chuck E. Cheese, with two rival restaurants, each with their own casts of characters,
These look
merging to
demonic,
become
I'm
one
not gonna
unified
lie.
Oh,
brand.
what the hell is that?
These are a lot scarier than the fucking animatronics,
Yeah,
man.
I'm only gonna-
I know, just a normal Chuck E. Cheese.
People actually create that?
Oh, hell
Yeah.
no, bro.
Bro, you
Oh,
can go right
God.
now. You can go right
Some
there. now.
American person created that.
I'm not.
It's the video, Mario. They're like Mario. Like,
Hell
Mario
no.
on crack, bro. There's no way. Get off the pipe, Mario. Get off the pipe.
Please, you're not a plumber anymore.
And again, we've gone into that in detail with other videos, just wanted to remind you
Insane.
all of that here. But why
Oh,
would I call
bro.
Oh, hell,
Bro.
what the fuck was that? What
No,
the fuck
this
was
one
that?
actually, no. There's no way you're taking your
Is that
kids.
a green bean? a blue bean?
Bro, it's
Oh,
a
hell
moon.
no.
It's a moon.
That's
it's
a moon?
It's a sleepy moon.
Bro, that's a bean. That's a literal bean. I
It's a-
can't convince me that's a
it's
moon. That's a bean.
beans.
But
That's
why
a
would I
green
call
bean.
out the
That's a
rival
green-
restaurant as being named Chica's Party World? A few things, actually. First, we know for a fact that a location named Chica's Party World exists. It is mentioned in the source code
Crazy.
teasing sister location, so it is out there somewhere and doesn't fit cleanly anywhere. Second, in the story of the Puppet Carver, Chica is very explicitly looped in with the book versions of Pig Patch and Ned Bear, implying that she started as a mediocre melody. Thirdly, her design just fits better with a theme of down-home country animals with southern accents playing the banjo and eating with bibs. And with her being the headliner
do
of the
that
show
accent.
with her name on the restaurant,
Oh.
it would make sense then that when the restaurants merged, she was the one that was added to the main cast of characters while all the other mediocres faded away. It's also why when
Oh, I guess that
Freddy's
makes sense,
closing
yeah.
with the Williams killing spree, she's the one to branch back off into her old franchise and is therefore missing in sister location. A detail that's bothered me for
Oh, that's cool as shit. Like, there's actually like reasoning behind why she would leave this, like, leave that franchise versus like not like being in it.
years
Okay,
at
yeah.
this point. It
Yeah,
would
yeah.
also explain
Her
why
own original
William
group,
decided
yeah.
to stuff his first dead kid into Chica. That one was
Oh,
Henry's creation,
what?
not his. Is all
Yeah.
of this a big leap? Yeah. Is it connecting a lot of dots that are very spread
That's
out
some
across the
spoilers,
franchise that
low-key.
I've been holding on in the back of my mind for
It
years?
should be,
Absolutely.
should be right
I
there.
think it makes sense. It also serves as a clean answer to a lot of the random threads that Scott's been leaving dangling for
He just casually talked about, hey, this motherfucker be throwing kids into animatronic
I mean,
suits.
that's like the whole.
Right,
concept,
that's
like,
low-key a spoiler, bro.
That's a spoiler, but you're watching the ultimate timeline, so like you're.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm
you
gonna,
are.
yeah.
Like this is all you saw talking about things in events. Like the kid, all the kids are basically murders all the kids and stuff, and that's why
Yeah.
they're like alive, basically, because he kills the kids. And
True, yeah. They
stuff,
mentioned it
their
earlier that
bodies.
he'd be like going around and killing people eventually.
He
and
said,
stuff,
"Yes, sir. Got me another one. Stuffing it like a Pokemon." I'm like, "Damn, really?"
What?
years. So with
Sick.
all of that in mind, my friends, we can close the book on the foundation of Freddy's. And don't worry, next week I'll be back to give you arguably one of the most
There's more?
confusing parts of this entire timeline situation. Part 2, the Afton era. I promise, it will actually be next week this time. No more waiting around. I am just as eager to get this one out the door as you are to watch it. I promise. You know what else I promise? I promise that we'll actually get to talking about the games. I would have liked to have talked about them in this episode, but there just isn't that much in the games that helps us depict anything pre-Family Diner. Although, let's be honest, this franchise has never been just about the games anyway. Even back in the early days of FNAF,
I'm sorry, one of the books looks absolutely fucking cool for its cover. Hold on. This one?
That one, the Twisted.
Yeah, the twisted
Yeah.
one. That one looks fucking cool as a cover.
They have one book that's has a crazy. It's like a comic. It's like it's wild. They do some. I don't know what he was writing, but it was like a little comic strip that was like for finance, and the ending was basically like one of the animatronics just like eating somebody. I was like,
Whoa.
it was insane.
Nice.
Yeah, it sounds
It was like some
horrifying.
vor, like some vor stuff. I
That
don't
sounds
know.
terrible. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is.
this franchise
It
has
is. I
never
don't know
been
why I read
just
it.
about the
I
games
just-
anyway. Even back in the early days of FNAF, we were decoding images and source code that Scott fed us through the website. The modern day books and the clues that we get from those things, now they're just modern extensions of that. All of it is crucial
The
to
mermaid one's
understanding
kinda
this
pretty.
franchise and its lore. Unless,
Yeah.
of course, Steel
I-
Wolf finally gets around to making that Freddy.
What are you gonna say? I hit
shot.
it? Is that what you just say? You say I hit?
Wait, what? Yeah.
He said yeah.
God damn.
Just keep the video
It's
going.
a
bro.
minute.
I'm sorry,
I'm
putting your dick in an
sorry.
animatronic is like putting it in a cheese grater. There's no fucking way.
How do you know? How do you know until you go? You have to test it. You have to test
Oh,
the method.
Alright, that is
Oh,
crazy,
You
bro.
don't know. You
Lock
don't
him up.
know.
Lock him
You
up.
don't know.
No.
It's safe. It's safe.
Red Bear's Family Diner game they want to make so badly.
Got a little rust on my shit. Let me stop.
Hey, baby girl, I got the lube. It's WD-40.
Aw.
You got
Coma the
protection?
type of guy to put it in the exhaust of a car.
Hey,
Oh,
man,
no.
listen,
Holes are meant to be filled.
I'm not. I'm like that. Hey,
Yeah.
watch Generation V of the boys. There's a guy in the episode that does some crazy things. This guy
Oh.
goes crazy.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah,
No,
just
I'm
go
good
watch
without that. I'm good without all
Nah,
that.
it's good.
Of Freddy Fazbear.
But in the meantime, while we wait for that inevitably cryptic game, I hope that this start to the timeline helps to fill in some of those gaps. I'm excited to share part 2 with you next week. If you haven't subscribed and
sir.
rang the bell, make sure you do it now so you're notified when that part.
That's so fucking. That was like so fucking awesome, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. Do you know what though? It's kind of one of those things where I'm sure there's a lot of people who are into the FNAF community itself. They're like, he got all of this blah 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 wrong. And do you know what? I'm not even gonna be like, dude, just chill out, because I felt the exact same way for his Genshin videos. So like, if you get upset about what he says, dude, it's probably fair game. Whatever. At the end of the day, at least they're making content. Like for me, I was really reluctant to watch this because of how much I hated his Genshin videos. But as someone who doesn't actually know the lore of FNAF,
Wait, he
it was
made
fun.
Genshin lore?
This don't
doesn't
even bring it up to me, bro. You
It's
know
actually- it's
I.
not- it's
Well, I
not
actually
the
didn't
worst.
know.
It's not the worst. It's just like slightly wrong because he was right about something.
It's not even. But he posted it
It's
after it was
something-
already revealed in game, and then he forgot to
Yeah.
read one of the most important lore books in the game that talks about the thing that he messed up on.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he didn't read it. He
Yeah.
was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I played the game, so blah blah blah." I'm like, "Dude, you didn't do one of the most important quests." It's like it's literally a side quest that gives you the entire lore of the background, but you
Well,
just didn't
it's not
care.
about the accuracy. It's
Okay.
about the vibe.
It's true. That's my bad. That's what I'm saying.
Vibe.
So if you get mad about it, it's cool. I get it. I've been there. Just know that at the end of the day, we're here to have a good time, and I still get mad about that other shit. So it's justified. It's fair.
Yes.
Just don't be threatening. You know what I mean? Just don't be cringe about it. You can like not like something, but you just don't be cringe. Because I like this video. I liked it a lot. So maybe that's based on my ignorance though. But I think it was good. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for your love and support. Link in the description is the original video, as well as all the creators with me today. Catch you later. Bye!